Welcome to another episode of Thoughts from RJ the Beast and DJ the Kid. It's RJ the Beast,
DJ the Kid.
and today we're going to talk about why
Losing
is just as important
as winning.
as winning. And one of the things I think about when I think about winning is the excitement, right? So you get this excited feeling when you win. I mean, how does it feel when you win?
It feels like I did my best and I feel great about myself.
So you feel like accomplished, right?
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh my gosh, we did it, right?
Yep.
So we want to win all the time, right? But have you ever thought about what would happen if everything you did in life was a win?
That wouldn't be fun anymore.
It wouldn't be fun because it become the normal thing. We would go out and we would win. We would go out and we would succeed at everything. So really, it would teach us exactly how life is not gonna be, right? Because in my eyes, winning and losing are just as important. Because you learn a lot from life, you learn a lot from things when you lose sometimes, right? So, a lot of sports and a lot of things you do in your life, it consists of trophies and rings and things like that, right? And I understand first and second place, you get a ring. Baseball, you get a ring, right? But why are we giving rings and medals to young people that have lost a game or young people that have lost something? You see what I'm saying? Because we're almost awarding the loss. When we award a loss, are we not making it appear that loss is something good?
Yes.
So my thing is you have to feel the feeling of losing, just like you feel when you win, like the excitement you feel when you win, the animosity and stuff that you feel when you lose is just as important, because it teaches us that sometimes in life we're going to lose some things. Sometimes in life we're not going to get that job, or we're not going to get that test 100%, or we're not going to get this to be how we want it all the time. So we have to suffer some kind of loss, because as we lose, we're actually gaining, right? So we're gaining knowledge, and we're gaining power, and we're gaining an ability to look at letdowns as something, as a stepping stone. It's what should fuel us to want to win, right? So if you've never suffered loss, if kid had never stepped on a baseball field and suffered a loss, or if you have never lost a friend, or never lost a football game, how would he know what winning feels like, right? You don't get the feeling of winning unless you've lost before, right? So if you've lost a football game and you come back next season and you win that football game against the same team, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great, just like we did against Tahlequah.
Yep.
And where we got into the Super Bowl, which we haven't gotten in 4 years.
Yep. But think about this. If you won every single game, would it have been as exciting
No.
to play him again?
No, because you have this excitement in you and this urge to try your best from losing the first time. And you have this urge that you want to make this insane play, or this end-winning touchdown, or this end-winning catch. And sometimes you won't do that, but it's just as exciting and you don't have to do it all the time. You're not the game winner. You don't have to be the only one that's done something in a game, but teamwork is also a good thing for you to learn.
You have to. So from what you just told me right now, you're almost telling me that you get the drive and you get the eagerness to want to compete, and the urge to want to compete harder because you've lost.
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, because I wouldn't want to, if I knew that, like, sometimes we step onto the football field and we're like, oh, this team is easy. We got this dub all day. And we walk onto the field and we beat them 47-0 like we did last year. And we know that we're going to win against them every time. And we won't have the urge to try our hardest if we know we're going to beat them.
So, in essence, you're telling me that you won't play your full potential if you're constantly feeling like a winner.
Yes.
But if you suffer loss, you'll actually play your full potential, or you're doing your full potential at a job, at a career, at a game, during a sporting event. So really what you're telling me is exactly what I want everybody out there to understand is if we always consider what we're doing a win. So if we lose, we're getting awarded like we won. If we lose something like a position, we're talking it up like it'll be okay. Well, why would we not tell our young people and people that we meet in jobs and careers, why would we not say, no, that's a loss? That's a loss, right? Because I live my life like this. Everything that I have not gotten the opportunity to do, everything that has slipped through my fingers, all the outcomes I could have had, the wins, right? I've suffered losses from all of that, which caused me to want to push and push and push to get that position or get that win, or because if you win all the time, you have no eagerness to do that anymore. If you're the best, if somebody says this is the best team, they cannot be beat, they will never be beat.
Like we did for the Expos.
Right. So if you're constantly telling people that all the time, look, you know what? And I'll be honest with you. I tell kid all the time, I'm like, you are great at what you do. You're great at what you do. But never once do I say you will win every game. You will be the best at everything you do. I always tell him, you got to drive yourself. You got to be strong. You got to keep pushing. There's been many, many years now when kid has been on the football field, and I've told them, you get hurt, you use it. I'll yell from the bleachers, use that. You feel like you're losing a game, use that feeling as fuel.
So last year I racked somebody and I gave them a concussion from hitting them and making a touchdown. I was like holding my head. My dad was like, use that. What did I do next play?
Yep. So it's because it drives you. I've never once said, don't feel pain. I've never once said, don't suffer loss. Or
You've never once said that somebody is the best at
never.
something.
But I always say this. Whether you win or you lose, you play whatever position you're in and you do the best you can, because you have to suffer losses sometimes. You have to understand what it means to lose, so that way it's more exciting to win.
And you have to understand that the position you're in football, baseball, basketball, the position you're in, you gotta work for that. Because if you're just out there dribbling the ball, holding the ball, throwing the ball, you're going to lose that position if you're not trying your hardest.
Yes. And you know what's crazy is you have to learn as a coach, as a parent, as a young person, that no matter where you're at, you can make that position great. No matter what job you're in, you can make that job great. No matter what kind of friends you have, you can make those friendships great. But it's not because it's based off of happiness and nobody's ever mad, or because you've got everything you need in a job, or because you have the best friends. It's because you've suffered loss before. And it makes you want to push. It makes you want to thrive. It makes you want to be the best friend you can be. It makes me want to be the best dad I can be. Because guess what?
Be your best friend, you want to be.
And let's talk about that for a minute. Me as a father, I suffered a lot of loss when I was a kid. I didn't have my father in my life. So I want to push to be greater, and it's because I've suffered loss. And I don't want anybody around me to feel the loss, okay? So, that's a good example to use in order for us to understand how to be successful in whatever we're doing in our lives. We've got to understand what loss feels like. We got to know what loss feels like. We've got to understand that sometimes someone's going to tell us you're not the best. Someone's going to tell us you are not the greatest. Okay? But you can be the greatest. You can be the best thing you could ever be in whatever you do in your life.
Yes.
So remember that it's not about always winning and always feeling success and always being the happy person and always having the best friends. It's about what you make of everything you got.
Because remember, you build your own legacy.
You build your own legacy, you create your own outcomes, and you build your own future. And I'll leave you with this. This is RJ the Beast and DJ the Kid. This is just what we think about, okay? But I do understand this. Think about all the losses in your life. How many wins did your losses create for you? How many paved roads did your losses build so that you can walk to your goals? How many friends have you had in your life that are good friends now because of ones that you lost? Think about that and leave us a comment and tell us how you feel about wins and losses. Do you feel like they are just as important? Because in our eyes, you can't win unless you lost.
Yeah.
So with that being said, thank you guys for watching this episode of Thoughts from RJ the Beast and DJ the Kid. It's RJ the Beast.
DJ the Kid.
And we are going to sign off. Make sure you hit that like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Turn on the notifications.
Leave us a comment.
And we will respawn back to you. Make sure you leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. Are wins as important as losses? I know it's been a while since we've been on here. We'll be back on here making videos again. Until next time, we will see you later. And as always, peace.